Well, Bob, the weather's turned cold, and so have Penn State's prospects in this football season. How do you like that?
Way to pluck that low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
This is no way to celebrate homecoming, David. That's all I have to say.
No, this is an annoying Michigan State team. They felt like they were going to pull this crap off the entire game, did they not? Lewerke, D'Antonio, even the punt with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Why are you punting? Well, that's why he was punting. This is the kind of game Michigan State wins, and so far, very, very commonly, it's the kind of game Penn State has been losing.
Yeah, they played the pace that Michigan State needed to win the game in terms of points.
Didn't throw downfield much at all, and I don't know that Trace McSorley could really see a lot of throws downfield. Michigan State was in his face. They were spying him, and they played him perfectly. And I don't know that Penn State's wideouts are getting a hell of a lot of separation.
Penn State's wideouts are not getting any separation other than KJ Hamler, and that's, I think, one of the biggest problems. Juwan Johnson, DeAndre Tompkins, you can go on. I mean, you could go on. Brandon Polk, they're just not getting open, and the rest of the defenses know it. I mean, for 2 years with Moorhead here, they were the master of the contested catch with Chris Godwin and Mike Gesicki, and other than one highlight reel by Juwan Johnson against Ohio State, who's making contested catches?
Yeah.
And that is a big part of what they're trying to do. In this day and age, you have to make catches in tight windows, and they're not making any. They're not getting open.
Yeah, and I can't believe that Trace McSorley wouldn't have been throwing the ball downfield if he saw some throws. He did miss the one to DeAndre Tompkins where he didn't see him in time. But otherwise, he was just pulling the ball down. Do you think he was pulling it down too quickly and ejecting too quickly, or they just didn't have any throws to make?
I didn't see whenever he would roll right, all the Penn State receivers are on the left-hand side, so that wasn't good. I think more to the point, though, this is their last 5 losses by 12 total points, but this game is different than the other 4 in that those were games either Penn State was either barely favored or even underdogs. They were 2-touchdown favorites at home, and they looked terrible.
Against a secondary that had given up all sorts of yardage this year, didn't go deep, couldn't beat them. What it felt like to me is this is a team that's won with big fireworks, big plays, with big ball, with home runs. Now all of a sudden they're going to be faced to play tactical football, small ball, and they came up against the master of that kind of football today, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to do it going forward with this team.
They made mistakes in every phase, save the fake punt that Franklin talked about. He knew it was coming, and they executed it. It was wide open, and I have to say, I know he's a young player, but C.J. Thorpe getting that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on 4th down when they have the play stopped, 1st and goal at the 1, that was a 4-point swing. I think Pat Freiermuth almost had a touchdown catch in the corner there, just couldn't quite pull it in. This was a game where you just can't make that many mistakes.
Or Aurier has an interception that ends the game, and he just dropped it. They just made a lot of mistakes.
Michigan State made almost all of the big plays in the game, and
just like last year.
You're not used to seeing that with this Penn State team. I think you could see it on Trace McSorley's face. He's pretty dejected. I think they really better regroup. And I have to say, I don't know what you thought, Dave, but I just think James Franklin's approached some things wrong.
Well, go into that because you said some interesting things.
I didn't like what he said about being this close to being elite after the Ohio State game. He said it was the best practice they ever had on Tuesday. I think that kind of sends maybe the wrong message to the team that maybe they're ready to go. And you got to look at the place kicker. He went with a true freshman. He wouldn't consider Blake Gillikin. He missed a big kick in this game. They wouldn't try a 46-yarder in this game, I think, because he had been inaccurate. Jake Pinnegert does not have a field goal of 40 or more yards this year. With this kind of schedule, I mean, it's got to be an open competition. I think he's got to look at some other options. I just think that he awarded the job to the guy too soon.
Well, it's a team that has won with, like I said, a lot of fireworks for 2 years. This feels like a team, the competition they were playing before wasn't this. And boy, they're going to have some rock fights coming up with Iowa and Wisconsin and at Michigan, and it is going to be rough. And they've got to figure out how to win physical games, and by all evidence in this game, haven't figured it out yet. That's it from Beaver Stadium. Until next week in Bloomington, adios.